They say traditions are the thread that stitches generations together, a thread of memory, of belonging, of identity. But what happens when those threads pull too tight? When something once born of love begins to feel like a chain, a trap? Across the world, villages, towns, even bustling cities, countless young people stand trembling at a crossroads. One path, honor the heritage that raised them. The other, break free from it. And between the two lies silence, shame, and heartbreak. In southern Africa, boys are sent into the wilderness. For weeks, they're cut off from family, from comfort, from safety. They're told, this is what makes you a man. But each year, some never return. Their deaths are brushed aside, explained as accidents or bad luck, or simply the price of adulthood. But for the mothers left behind, that price is unbearable. Their grief is swallowed in the name of tradition. In Southeast Asia, little girls are draped in jewels, bright clothes, henna-stained hands. The drums beat, the community cheers, and yet if you look closely, just closely enough, you see the fear in her eyes. She is told she is a woman now, though she has barely lived as a girl. What the world celebrates as honor, she carries as loss. In the Amazon, children thrust their hands into gloves filled with venomous ants. They writhe in agony, told the pain will make them strong. Elders smile with pride, but scientists describe something else: neurological damage that lasts long after the sting fades. For the child, strength is not what remains, only scars. And in Europe, centuries-old festivals still play out with bulls chased, birds hunted, goats thrown from towers, all defended as culture, all condemned as cruelty. The young who inherit these traditions feel torn in two. To rebel is to betray. To conform is to become complicit. So what happens when the very rituals meant to unite us drive wedges between generations? Anthropologists reminded me, rituals were never created to harm. They were created to bond, to mark transformation, to weave the individual into the collective. But cultures are living things. They breathe, they grow, they change. And when rituals stop serving the people they were meant to protect, they don't unite us anymore. They poison us. Here's the tragedy. The young already know this. They see the harm, they feel the suffocation, but the weight of family, of belonging, is heavier than truth. A boy who refuses initiation risks exile, mocked, forever incomplete. A girl who questions marriage risks dishonor, violence, even death. The price of obedience is pain, but the price of resistance, sometimes it's survival itself. And yet, despite the fear, quiet revolutions are rising. In Kenya, teenage girls write secret plays. On small, makeshift stages, they perform their pain for their elders. Their message is clear: we cannot carry this burden anymore. In Mexico, young men reimagine a dangerous bull run as a dance. The music, the pride, the color, it stays, but the blood no longer stains the streets. Change doesn't always come from tearing down tradition. Sometimes it comes from reshaping it, reclaiming it, asking, does this still honor us, or does it only harm us? When I hear these stories, I think of the word inheritance. We inherit not only land or names or songs, we inherit wounds, we inherit silence. And unless we speak, unless we choose, those wounds become the next generation's scars. Tradition is powerful. It tells us who we are. But the question we never ask is who gets to decide when it no longer defines us. For every young person standing on that fragile line between pride and pain, the choice is almost unbearable. To obey means safety, but at the cost of self. To resist means freedom, but at the cost of belonging. And maybe that is the cruelest truth of all. The deepest trap is not always the ritual itself, but the fear of losing the people we love if we refuse it. So maybe next time we see a ritual, ours or someone else's, we should ask not just what it preserves, but what it costs. Because culture is not a museum artifact. It is alive, it breathes, and it can either heal or it can wound. The question is, which will we choose to pass on?